So we're going to read a story today. You might see that I'm sitting next to some beautiful California poppies. And we're going to read a book called The Reason for a Flower. You might see some bumblebees on the front cover. Let's find out what's happening here. Birds and bees. You recognize the hummingbird and the bumblebee? And these. What do you see here? Hummingbird, a butterfly, a different kind of butterfly, a monarch butterfly perhaps? Wow, they're all visiting the flowers. Ooh, who do we have here? You have to look very carefully to see who's in here. That looks like an animal of some type. And how about some camouflaged insects? Beetles. Oh, and I missed this one over here. And a beautiful yellow butterfly. They are very interested in the flowers. You have to help me find all the creatures. And these sip nectar from the flowers. This is a nighttime creatures. Do you know that we have flying insects, moths that come out at night? They find the flowers from their scent. And what is this? It's a flying mammal. I bet you know what a flying mammal is. It's a bat. They are interested in the flowers also. They're sipping nectar from the flowers, the sweet juice that flowers make to attract the pollinators. And as they search for more and more pollen from the flower, goes to the next flower, to the next one they explore. The bees get the pollen stuck on them, and then they go inside the flower and they drop off some pollen. Some pollen travels in the breeze. Uses grass plants. The pollen is blowing. Without the help of birds or bees, and very often makes you sneeze. The tiny mouse is so small he can actually climb up a blade of grass. From an anther on a stamen, that's this part of the plant. It's the part that makes the pollen. To a stigma on a style. That is the very middle where the pollen goes. Pollen grains must travel and stay a little while, and then you'll see the reason. Oh, beautiful pink butterflies. For each flower, even weeds. These are beautiful flowers. And this one just grows all by itself, and people don't think they're pretty. That's a dandelion. The reason for a flower is to manufacture seeds that have a cover of one kind or another. Some grow inside a juicy fruit. And it's not odd to find them growing in a pod. Look at that. Those are all things we eat, and they all have seeds in them. The largest one is a coconut. All different kinds of seeds. This one has wings. Some of them have stickers. Some of them can fly in the air like a little parachute. Seeds travel far and wide. Some even like to hitch a ride upon a bike. Oh, there's a seed right there. Or on a shoe. Did you ever get a sticker in your shoe? Squirrels hide them and forget they do. Oh, there's a squirrel, and do you see what he's holding and bearing? It's an acorn. Some have burrs that stick to furs and travel at a gallop. There's a little sticker stuck to a rabbit. It's going to travel wherever the rabbit goes. Seeds can settle anywhere. They find water, sun, and air. And then they grow roots and stems and leaves. Bet you can recognize. This is the root of a carrot, the root of an onion, the root of a beet, the root of a radish, the root of a grass, and the root of ginger. A lot of those we can eat. Some seeds grow up to be trees. Wow, this huge tree, it's an oak tree, started off as an acorn, and now it's a habitat for all of these creatures that you can see. The little rat, the rabbit, the frog, crazy looking bird, beautiful butterfly. Lots of, looks like a grasshopper, a caterpillar, a snail. A tree is an amazing habitat for so many living things. These grow where it's very dry. Recognize those plants? Cactus. And these grow where it's wet. There are water plants, frogs, fish, turtle, some insects. These may not look like flowers, but they're the most important yet. Rice and barley, corn and wheat are cereals we need to eat. Millet and bamboo are a treat for animals who don't like meat. They are called herbivorous. Wow, look at all those animals that eat plants, from as big as an elephant to as small as a little chipmunk. And birds, many birds also. Would you believe these plants eat meat? These eat bugs, and they are called carnivorous. They catch the bugs by having a trap to catch them and a smell that the bugs like. And then they actually eat the bugs. It's kind of weird. The largest flower ever found grows in the jungle near the ground, a parasite clinging tight to roots of trees that feed it. It's 3 feet wide, or maybe 4, weighs 15 pounds and sometimes more, and has a nasty odor. Rafflesia is its name. And look at the flies. Flies like things that smell bad. So that's why flowers have smells, to attract their pollinator. But here's a flower that owes its fame to smelling very sweet. And scientists agree that magnolias seem to be a prehistoric family. My goodness, looks like they were here when the dinosaurs were here. All flowers are angiosperm. That's an ancient Grecian term. Here are just a very few products made from them for you. Look at the things we make from plants. Brooms, straw, paper from a tree, candy, coffee, tea, popcorn, chocolate, bread, pasta, cork, medicine, rope, rubber. Plants that have no flowers are fascinating too. Look at that, a mushroom with a little ladybug. This one has become a plum. This is the time of year, spring, where we see the flowers. A pollinator visits them, the petals fall off. That middle part right there grows and grows and grows and becomes the seed. The seed is inside. Thank you for joining me today. Now we're going to look at some wildflowers that are here. Flowers come in all colors and shapes. This is lupine. You might see it covering the hills right now. Another really popular flower that we have in our area is the California poppy. They're all over the place right now, and they close up at night. Flowers can actually move. How about some other colors? How about these beautiful blue ones called blue-eyed grass, even though they're not grass? And this is the white flower of dogwood. And butterflies like to land on this because it has a nice flat landing pad for them. Some flowers are very, very special for bees. This one is actually called bee plant. Bees love it. And then there's the blackberry flower. And thanks to bees that go from flower to flower, in the summer we get to eat blackberries. Right now is the time when the bee comes to the flower, collects the pollen on its hairs and takes it to the next flower, and then the petals fall off and that middle part grows into a blackberry. That takes a while. That won't happen until summer. Here are some more busy bees visiting the dandelion flowers. They like the flowers that have lots of pollen in the middle. And watch really carefully because I found another type of bee down below. It's bigger than the honeybee. Watch carefully. It is a bumblebee. There it goes. There are more bees at work. This time they're visiting a plant called California lilac. Look carefully. You can see all the pollen on the bee's body. They have a little sac they carry it in. Here is a flower that is designed to attract a hummingbird. The design, the long tube, is special for the long beak, the color pink, And you see the little yellow dot on the thing sticking out? That's the pollen. That's what's going to rub against the hummingbird's body and allow it to pollinate the next flower. So here we have the hummingbird visiting those same flowers of the hummingbird sage. That's a very good name for this plant, wouldn't you say? It is special just for hummingbirds. The hummingbird goes quickly from flower to flower, and every time it does, it gets a little bit of pollen on its body and then potentially carries that to the next flower, and that's how it grows seeds. Nature is incredible that is designed to work so well. We've looked at colorful flowers. Here's a flower that is kind of a green color. These are the flowers of poison oak. They do have insect pollinators, but they're not attracted by color. It must be something else. And then we have lots of wind pollinated plants. This is a grass. The long little spiky things are pollinated by the wind. This is willow, also by the wind. You don't have to be a pretty color if you're not attracting an insect or a bird. The wind will take care of you. And then we have our oak trees, which are dangling their flowers right now, again carried by the wind. Well, we're going to finish up with our dandelion flower, just like was in the book. The yellow flower is visited by the bees, lots of pollen there in the center, probably other insects also. And on the same plant, we have the seeds. It looks like a little puffball. Have you ever blown on one of those before? So even though the flower of this plant is pollinated by probably an insect, the wind takes care of spreading its seeds. And if we look even more closely, at the bottom of each little white tuft is a little yellowish color seed. So nature is amazing. Spring is upon us. And I hope you enjoyed our story and learning about springtime, flowers,